Keeping up with our motto, let learning be a joy and teaching a pleasure. Here we are with remote teaching and learning process to bridge the gap. Happy learning, students. Here Mrs. Sonal Shah Doshi from Thakur, Vidya, Mandir High School and Junior College teaching you all geography today for grade 9, chapter 4, Exogenetic processes part 2. Today we are going to learn last part, that is part 4 of this chapter. As we have seen earlier that active forces on the planet Earth divided into either endogenic forces, that is acting inside the Earth, or exogenic forces, that is acting on the surface of Earth. Endogenic forces can either be slow forces like formation of mountains or sudden forces like volcanic eruptions, whereas exogenic forces can be further classified into weathering and erosion. In previous parts, we have learned how the different types of landforms are formed due to weathering, erosion and deposition work of done by different natural factors. We have learned erosion, transportation and deposition work done by the rivers, done by the glaciers, done by the winds, and done by the groundwater. Today we are going to learn erosional, deposition and transportation work at the sea coast. Look at this picture carefully. Different parts of the coastal areas are seen over here like beach, cliff, headland, cave, arc, stack and sea water. So how do you explain about this? So in coastal areas, sea waves carry out erosional, depositional and transportational work just like rivers. When the wave comes, it collects all the material, it wipes it off, and with its speeds it carry them away and deposit them on the other side when its speed becomes slower. So in coastal areas, sea waves carries out erosional, depositional and transportational work. Winds and tides cause the movements of seawater and as a result waves come to the coast. Because of their hitting the rocks at the coast, erosion of the rocks occurs. In the coastal areas having wide beaches, waves carry out the depositional work. So here is the picture from your textbook showing landforms at the sea coast. Here they have shown a sea cliff which is at the altitude from the surface level of the sea water, sea cave which is at the coastal areas where the land and sea water get submerged, then sea arc and sea stacks. Let us see erosional work of the sea waves, how they carry out the erosional work. So when the waves break at the coast, they bring with them water, transported stones, pebbles, sand particles and a lot of other materials. And this leads to the erosion of the coast. Because of the chemical and hydraulic action of the sea wave, erosion occurs. So mainly the erosion occurs at the coastal area due to chemical and hydraulic action of the sea wave. And landforms like wave-cut platforms, sea caves, sea arcs, sea cliffs which we have seen in the pictures are formed because of the erosional work carried out by the waves. Here I have shown you the wave cut platform. Look at its borderline of the coastal area in the shape of waves. So that is why it is known as wave cut platform. This is sea caves, the caves under on the sea surface, sea arcs, cliffs at the altitude, landforms at the altitude. Now see depositional work of the sea waves. So the eroded materials gets accumulated at the sea bed, and because of the tides they keep on moving towards the coast and away from the coast. During high tides they move toward the coast, and during low tide they move away from the coast. They become fine because of the attribution and hitting each other. Sorry, attraction and hitting each other. Deposition of such materials occur at the places where the effect of wave is less. Obviously, when the speed becomes low or slow, that time deposition work happens. It is in the case of river also, wind also, and sea waves also. And landforms like beaches, sandbars, lagoons are formed due to depositional work of the sea waves. This is the picture of a beach. Sandbars in the seawater, and lagoons, circular shape landform. So here we have done with landforms formed by the sea waves in this chapter, which was the last part of this chapter. So we have done erosional and depositional work done by the wind, groundwater, rivers, glaciers, and sea waves in this chapter. Hope you all got it. Thank you all.